Welcome, everyone, to a very special segment on this show, of course, PeteBiz Radio and World Business Radio Network. I have the pleasure of welcoming to our program the Prime Minister of the beautiful country of Aruba, Prime Minister Mike Eman. Welcome to the program.
Welcome. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's a great honor to be in your program. It's for a Prime Minister of Aruba with so many citizens of Aruba, having also residents here in Miami, and for so many years being one of the most popular destinations for Arubans to vacation, and of lately has also become a very growing market from tourists coming from Florida and Miami to Aruba. So both on the side of the cultural relationship between our island and the city of Miami, and on the business side, we have many Arubans having important logistic business here, agents for shipping industries that provide most of the import in Aruba. So the links with Miami are historical, they're cultural, they're business, and they are very much friends.
Well, we welcome you specifically to the city of Doral, which is fast becoming one of the top international cities in the United States. And the perfect example is of a special ceremony that we're all going to be enjoying later on today, which is the official sister city collaboration between the city of Doral and Oranjestad, Aruba. And we're very excited about that. And I think that this is another step forward in really enhancing what we all want is international trade, to look into and leverage the opportunities that both countries and both cities in this specific case have.
Yes, we are extremely honored that the mayor of Doral invited us to be here and at the same time officialize the relationship between Aruba and Doral. As we just mentioned, the amount of activities from different persons that have chosen to live here in Doral are of great importance to Aruba because they provide a lot of the agency for the import in Aruba. And as of lately, we've also seen much of the interest growing also from touristic side from Doral to Aruba. So I'll be seeing the mayor of Doral, Mr. Boria, today, this afternoon. We'll be very enthusiastic about signing of this city-sister relationship. And for us, it is the basis, the formal basis to build on a relationship that we already had. And in the broader sense of relationship with Miami, and naturally this is also of importance to Doral. Aruba has set out to become a totally sustainable country by 2020, and I would like now to also give you the report and the documentation on Aruba's vision to become a country that by 2020 will rely solely on renewable energy. We're already at 30% of our total capacity, mostly wind and solar energy. We are expanding the variety of technology. We're going to waste to gas to energy at this moment. And as of last week, we signed the Paris Agreement in New York, and in Washington we had the Energy Summit with Vice President Biden. And I believe this is a topic that is of utmost importance for our islands, but also for Miami. We know that Miami also has a challenge with the seawater level, and this is a subject that we take seriously to heart. And we also are part of a kingdom that has a lot of knowledge how to handle the challenges of water. As you know, the Netherlands, 1/3 of the country is practically living under sea level, and they have managed to control water levels, having been able to create enormous infrastructures to manage this challenge. So Miami really is a city with a historical relationship with Aruba, with the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Now it could also have a lot of common goals, both in the area of climate security, in the area of business development, and further expanding our cultural and friendship relation.
From what I've seen here, one of the key reasons why you're here today, and the city of Doral is moving forward with the Sister City program, is the fact that the city in of itself is really focusing on the climate, is really focusing to be a green city, and it coincides hand in hand with the entire island of Aruba and where you want to go. So, and what amazes me and impresses me is the fact that you and all of your team of leaders are walking the talk. There's a lot of talk in the world about great ideas, but a lot of them just sit on a drawing board. You're actually taking that and you're already doing it, and you're very focused. And I believe that your goal of 2020 may happen sooner than that.
We are already looking forward to the first day that will be on 100% sustainable energy, and that will be prior to 2020. And then we will celebrate the first week, and then the first month, and then when we are the whole year on total dependency on sustainable energy. For an island like Aruba, it's almost a no-brainer. The amount of sun we have 12 hours a day, and the amount and the consistency of the wind in Aruba. Just to give you an example, when you have a windmill farm of a capacity of 10 megawatts, say, in most countries it would efficiently produce 4 megawatts, so it's 40% efficiency rate. In Aruba, it would provide 6 megawatts, so there is a 60% efficiency rate. So for Aruba, it's almost a no-brainer to make this conversion. It has become more evident to us that this is really necessary with all the oil price fluctuation. If you want to create a country, and I see this in Miami also, Miami and Doral passed through an enormous economic boost with tourism growing. But we as politicians and public servants say we don't only want 5-star hotels, we also want 5-star schools. We want 5-star neighborhoods, we want 5-star hospitals, we want 5-star elderly homes. So creating that connection between economic prosperity and well-being of our citizens is really what set us out on this pathway to become totally sustainable. So we don't spend money importing oil while we have an abundance.
Take the same energy and money and dedicate it to something that will be more sustainable in the long run. There's a couple of things that I'm, again, very impressed with the country and everything you're doing there and it is a great lesson for businesses around the world. And what do I mean by that? I think approximately still today, 80%, 88% or so of what drives the country is tourism. And you can never discard that. But what is happening, and I think is very smart, no pun intended, is that you're diversifying. You're diversifying the economy, and you're taking the lead globally in renewable energy, which I think will continue to enhance your tourism, will keep that going strong, but then again, provide additional much-needed revenues that everyone needs, private or public, to your country.
Pete, you mentioned something earlier in your introduction that Aruba is not only having a ambition to become totally sustainable, but you're also really executing this vision, and that is also evident when you are in Aruba. We are already at 30% of our capacity, and for those that travel to Aruba, immediately when you step out of the airport, you would see the large parking space in front of the airport. Now it's totally covered by solar panels, so having a dual function, providing shade to the cars in a sunny island, and also providing 3 to 4% of our total capacity just there in front of the airport. What is really important that when you have a ambition and you demonstrate that you have skill and the will to execute it, you get a lot of partners, and Aruba has been blessed by some of the largest names in this world that have looked at Aruba and saw that we were seriously working on becoming an example for other countries in the world. And So we were embraced by Carbon War Room. I was personally with Mr. Richard Branson at Rio Plus 20 in 2012, where we announced this ambition of becoming totally sustainable by 2020. And we were immediately asked then by the Secretary General of Climate Change of UN, Mrs. Figueres, if we could not bring 10 islands along. And we immediately expanded our agenda to not only have this ambition for Aruba, but to have it for more islands, more countries. And that has also created more interest of companies and institutes, universities that see this as an important challenge and see it also as an important research lab where on a small scale you can investigate, you can research and monitor the different technologies there are to reach this goal, because it's not only expanding your renewable capacity, because solar energy, wind energy, those are proven technologies, but as you grow in dependency on renewables, you also have a challenge with the fluctuation on the grid, because the sun comes and goes intensity.
You need great minds that will be able to calculate weather trends and conditions.
Exactly, and the wind also fluctuates, and it's important to have technology that can compensate for those fluctuations. And that makes it very interesting that Aruba is doing what it does for the rest of the world, because a lot of that technology is going to be tested in an island that reaches 50, 60, 70% reliance on renewable energy. And that technology is upscalable. So I hope to also be able to invite your listeners that are companies, institutes, universities that are also dedicated towards creating new technology for the conversion towards sustainable energy, to look at Aruba as a possibility to bring the technology and come and test this out, be part of this process. Once we reach these higher numbers, everyone would be looking more and more to Aruba, and you will be also exposing your company, your institute.
Well, one of the ways that we here in the city of Doral are going to have Aruba front and center, top of mind, is with the building out and the construction of what you're going to call Little Aruba here in the city of Doral. I think by next year, at the end of 2017. We have a couple of minutes left here in our conversation. Why don't you share a little bit about that project, because that's a very exciting one.
Well, we were approached by a very active group of Arubans living in this city, in this beautiful city of Doral, and they approached us with the idea that Aruba has in the Netherlands what we call an Aruba house, where every Aruban could go to and be provided with the latest information, but also be connected back to their island, and also provide the services that Aruba can provide. And they have thought out a concept where you could create a similar center here in Doral for everyone who is interested in Aruba to have a point where they can bring their interest with regard to what they want to do in Aruba, and also obtain information on what Aruba can offer. And it would be a great thing to have such a physical presence here in Doral. And so we're very excited. We support this initiative, and we're very happy also that the mayor has embraced this idea, even so to translate this idea into a very formal relationship between Aruba and Doral with the city-citizen relationship agreement we will be signing today.
The power, the sustainability, mind you, of any agreement, of any what we hope will make a positive change, is in the active galvanizing of the community and everyone together on a day-to-day basis. Because as you and I have seen many, many times, great ideas are a dime a dozen, but many of them just get stuck in a place and they never become a reality. And I can see that even though you're not doing it right now, you basically have your sleeves rolled up and everybody's ready to work together. And I can assure you that with all of us here in the city of Doral, and what we're doing on this platform, on this global network, that we are going to make Aruba front and center to make sure all this, because beyond the fact that there's a sister city program and agreement, what you are doing is setting the tone for the rest of the world, and whatever we can do to help you do that, you can count on us.
Pete, thank you very, very much. This is a visit that started in New York with the signing of the climate agreement of Paris. I had the honor to do that on behalf of the Kingdom of the Netherlands. That is definitely also a recognition of a small island that has decided to contribute on what scale to a global challenge. Then we went to Washington, where we had the Energy Summit with Vice President Biden, who was also a very open-hearted and very warm in his compliments for what Aruba is doing in the area of sustainability and the relationship with the United States. And to finalize my visit in the United States here in Doral, signing with the mayor and having this type of support that you are also providing us with your station and all the connections, and the world's all about connectivity nowadays, and having friends like you that can help us convey the message, the importance of and the awareness of a sustainable pathway is of utmost importance. So thank you very, very much for this opportunity and the friendship of the city of Doral.
Well, we thank you for paying us a visit. We're humbled that you came to our global headquarters here at World Business Radio Network, and to say that the doors will remain open is an understatement. You're more than welcome to come by with everyone, the whole group that's here visiting, and we look forward to seeing you a little bit later on today at the ceremony, and hopefully we can continue the dialogue then.
Thank you very much, and once again also a word of gratitude to the mayor of Doral for having extended this invitation, and also wanting to make it more official by signing a city-sister relationship with Aruba. And so for us, a great opportunity to build on the great relationship that we have been building over the last couple of years. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care.